Hey everyone, we got a couple blockages today on this section of road. We were here last night removing these beaver dams, but beavers always build back, and we're gonna remove them one more time while we're in the area. So the first culvert is right here. It's got a blockage. The beavers are building it there, but eventually they're gonna keep making it bigger and block the pipe again like yesterday. That should be very simple to get rid of. Draw it down real quick. And there's another one right there. I don't see any noticeable beaver lodge. They could live back there somewhere. But yesterday we saw one of the beavers and it quickly retreated into the pipe, and I think it was going to a swamp down there. And if that's the case, this would be a secondary beaver pond just for water storage. Beavers will have multiple ponds, and yesterday we noticed when we unclogged this, it actually filled up the pond down there, so having these blocked is actually a little bit depriving the beavers of water. Don't know why they're doing that. Then when we're done with these two pipes, we're gonna go down the road to another one that we unclogged yesterday, which is also partially clogged today. Nothing serious, that's why we're just gonna add these all in one video, but there will be a little bit of a difference here and there. Yesterday we got this plunge pool to rise quite a bit. You see a bunch of the debris. We'll get it to rise again. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. There's also some big boulders in there which don't help. It looks like the embankment collapsed a little bit. All right, the whole blockage is moving. You're about to see it on camera 2. Slowly moving, about halfway under the road. Get this pond to drain back about a foot, 3/4 under the road. And here it comes out the other side. The rest of this debris might not be noticeable in the murky water. All right, we got it fully open again. Beavers are gonna be angry. Now you see it's starting to clear up. It'll be done eroding in a few minutes. Water will start running clean on the other side in a couple of minutes. And we're all set with this culvert pipe. Here's what it looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. Some good flow. Now let's go look at the other side. Over here on the other side, water levels have increased, but not as much as yesterday, because yesterday the dam was twice as big. Here's what the exit looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. Pretty good improvement. You see all the water's trickling through the grass down to the beaver swamp there. Let's go down the road to the next pipe. Let's go take a look. So many daisies and Indian paintbrush flowers. It's really pretty. Here's the other pipe. Still got a little bit of flow down here. Our efforts yesterday are still working, but I'm sure there's a little teeny dam in there when I went to look at it before. Yesterday, this beaver pond down here was very below capacity. It's still at capacity. So if they actually do live there and this appears to be secondary, we might have beavers that are depriving themselves of water. Notice this whole area is a grassland. This down here is a old abandoned beaver dam. If that didn't have a slice in it, this whole area downstream would also be flooded. All right, let's go unclog the pipe. Over here at one point, they had it clogged completely. And eventually, if they don't relocate these beavers, it'll be flooded again. If they clog them up and it gets to the point where it starts crossing over the road, it looks like it would be right there. This whole grassland will once again be underwater if the beavers aren't relocated. And also yesterday, this was found inside the beaver dam. Believe that's so the road crews can locate it easily. So let's take a quick look at it. Yep, they put willow trees in here. New dam. It's easy for them to build a dam because there's this piece of metal in there. If I zoom in on it, welded inside the pipe. Don't know what it's for, but they're able to build against the pieces of metal welded about 3 feet deep into the pipe. The water here is a lot more shallow than it was yesterday. So that's a little bit better for working, but not better for removing it. We have less current to help us. All right, everyone, we're gonna get camera number 2 going. Because we have less current, I'm gonna try to pull out some of the dam and throw it up on shore. Oh, that's heavy. Woo. There's more of it. Maybe you can see that piece of metal sticking up in there. We have no idea what it's for. Very sharp piece of metal right there from the excavator. Got some more of it coming up. And there's another big rock that appears in there too that's helping the beavers. There's a big stick. Oh, it floated away. Another big stick. Maybe you'll see that on camera too. Push. I'm touching that piece of metal. Don't know why it's in there exactly. But that's the reason we didn't let anything go through on this pipe. I knew it would get stuck against it without the current. Even that one piece I just threw there won't make it through unless we get a big rainstorm. But we know 100% beavers will be here later on, clogging it back up. All right, everyone, flowing nice. Here's what the entrance of the pipe looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. You see that piece of metal in there? It's also going across the bottom too, and it appears to be welded in there. It's not crooked or anything. I don't think something random floated in there. Don't know what that's for. Maybe it's some kind of bracket they welded holding 2 sections of pipe together. I've seen that, but not the way it's shaped. It's really weird. The other side has a bit more water flowing. Here's what the other side looked like before, and here's what it looks like now. A pretty good flow of water, and all that flow is making its way down to the beaver pond. All right, everyone, now we're gonna get back in the vehicle. We're gonna drive about a half a mile down the road to another beaver swamp. All right, everyone, we're just gonna pull right down the road, literally only a minute away. Last night it actually rained a good amount. Only takes a few hours of the sun coming out to make these roads dusty again, but right now they're perfect. They're not dusty yet, although there are a couple areas it's like driving through wet concrete, and this is actually the first time I've been on these roads when it feels like wet concrete while pulling a trailer, and it just driving really slow. Anytime you hit the brake, it wants to jackknife you, so you got to be very careful, I learned. And there's also mud caked on the front of the trailer like 2 inches thick being thrown up by the truck when we get to those mud holes. I'll show you a couple of those mud holes later in the video because there's one a couple miles up ahead which is gonna be extremely horrible. But here we are already, I think, to the next beaver swamp. I think I already see the opening. All these tire tracks on the road are mine. I thought about, should I do it again today? Yeah, we're gonna do it again today. So we're the only tire tracks here. These roads, they are currently being used for logging. There's a ton of stacked logs down here, but they're just waiting for the road to dry out before they send extremely heavy trucks down here because they'll probably get stuck, the big rigs, or at the very least cause a lot of damage to the road. All right, here we are. Here's the next swamp. Let's pull over, shut the truck off. There's a little bit of a blockage. We're gonna get out and just quickly solve it. Preventative maintenance. See, it looks like wet concrete, but there's certain sections of road it's like that as far as the eye can see. So over here, this at one point used to all be a beaver pond. Everything you see, even the little bushes on the side growing, that was underwater right up to the tree line of evergreens. So right here is a pretty big culvert. It's a nice metal culvert. It's not buried very deep, but it also hasn't been crushed. Take a look at this. We released such a big blast yesterday. This really thick, luscious grass got pushed over by the water current. Look at that. It was blasting there yesterday. Now we just have a little bit of blockage to remove. See all the dead driftwood and stuff. This was a driftwood built beaver dam from all the dead trees they killed. Just random stuff falling off of the dead trees. That's what they built it with. So this one here, there was a beaver dam right about here inside the pipe, maybe 3-4 feet deep inside the pipe. Then I think the logging company put the grate there afterwards. Then the beavers couldn't get to the dam to maintain it, so it was very easy rotting for us to remove. Then we removed a little bit of debris here on the grate, and there's a little bit of debris on the grate again today, and that's the only thing we actually have to remove today is that little bit of debris. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to lift the grate up. Looks like it's potentially a under 5-minute job. Alrighty everyone, the tripod is stuck down deep into the mud. Now we're gonna go ahead and try to lift this grate up. Is it gonna be easy today? We just lifted it yesterday. It's pretty stuck because the beavers really reinforced the new dam. Okay, we're gonna try to lift it, shimmy it a little bit, and we're gonna release a quick wall of water down to camera number 2. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. Let's go ahead and lift this up. Try to lift it up. It's very heavy, this mud. All right, we actually stopped the water a little bit more for the moment. Try to get this thing up. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. This grate's heavy, and it's stuck on the excavator damage. Ooh. All right, we're getting it out of here. I'm gonna flip it over on the side. We'll clean that up in a moment. Put it back. Let's get in there with the rake. Remove the beaver's overnight material. Very simple. There's actually no sticks involved, it looks like. Just grass, mud. They didn't really need the sticks to reinforce anything. Get down there for a moment. Oh, there's a spider web in the entrance. Brand new web overnight. Full of a bunch of little mosquitoes. All right, we got this thing flowing well just overnight. Doing good. Over on camera number 2, I'm sure it's starting to flood over there again with the grass. Here's the grate. Let me just back you guys up a slight hair so you can see what I'm doing with the grate. We just got to quickly clean it off. See all the debris that the beavers cake into the grate. It's very heavy. Heavy beaver mess on a very heavy grate. See all that? Just gotta manually pick it out. There's really no easy way of picking this out with a rake. Just a little time consuming. The beavers will have this built back tonight, but the whole point of this is water reduction. You notice when we arrived, yesterday when we arrived, there was barely anything on the grate. I mean, barely anything flowing through the grate. Once the water reduces, it'll go back to that flow, meaning beavers won't be able to get the pond flooding again for about a week. Probably multiple weeks getting it to the point where it would actually clog up the road. Now let's get the grate back in place. Nice and unclogged, and we're doing good. All right, everyone, that's flowing good. It's a lot of water going through. It's just not going very fast. Here's what the entrance looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. Pretty good. That'll drop water levels back about a foot. A lot less water, a lot less current than yesterday, but wow, compared to before, over on the other side looks amazing. Look at that. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. Look at it filling that big gap where it pushed over the grass. That was empty a couple minutes ago, no water. Good reduction in water. Once again, just like the other location, the logging company needs to relocate these beavers, or the road's gonna keep being flooded. This thing's gonna continuously get clogged up. All right, everyone, we're pulling out. Further down this road, there's many other beaver issues, but without the preventative maintenance of places like this, eventually beavers will completely clog the pipe, 100%. Then when the water starts crossing over the top of the road, they'll start building a beaver dam along the edge of the road because they want the pond even deeper. There's many beaver ponds that we'll be driving by up here on this road where the water level is a couple feet above the road, because the beavers build a massive dam, and also because of that massive dam, there's always a little bit of water seeping out, creates a massive mud hole. Can't wait to see how big some of these mud holes have become since the rain. We'll find out within the next hour or two. It's more slow going today because this road is a muddy mess in certain areas. We just gotta be a little bit careful. Sometimes mud can be just as slippery as ice in the right situation. Now right here is something, I don't know if we'll be able to find the pipe, but we're gonna step out and investigate, walk around inside these bushes, but there's more water crossing right here actually. We wanna step out and see where. A lot of times culvert inspections, the best time to do it is early spring. All the vegetation is pushed down by the winter snow and nothing has started growing yet. For some reason, a lot of road inspectors do it in the summer when you just can't properly do it. You also need to be inspecting. The best time is during the spring, like I said, but also during a heavy rainstorm after the spring thaw. There's no snow in your way, anything to obstruct. You want to inspect things during a storm. Most companies choose not to do that because their workers just don't want to go out in it. But somewhere here there's a pipe. It's very dense vegetation. Chances are we won't be able to find it. But we're gonna get out and take a look at it. If we do find something, we'll make a video of it. But we're gonna just pull over right now, shut the truck off, and take like a good 5-10 minutes to look for it. If we can't find it or it's deemed too dangerous, we'll leave it, put up some orange ribbons for the logging company can properly know there's an issue, and they can also know where the pipe is. So this is what happens when a beaver flood is allowed to occur without preventative maintenance or beaver relocation. This little puddle here probably started as just this little trickle. As cars, big trucks drive through it, they're throwing more sand, dirt out of the puddle, making the pothole bigger and bigger every vehicle that goes through it. So right here, just like I said, there's actually a little beaver dam right here. So the beaver pond level is actually above the road now, which is a recipe for a very muddy disaster. And that means almost 100% of the time that culvert pipe is going to be underwater, which makes it dangerous to remove by hand, because if you slipped, you could fall into the current if you were to even get it open. So, because the pipe is probably blocked, the best way of locating it is down this side. There'll usually be an opening full of water, it's just not flowing. Usually we can locate the exit end of them. Usually they're not flooded out. Sometimes the beavers will have a downstream dam also backing it up to the culvert level. Sometimes a little bit of water trickling out. The one exception would be a lot of road crews do this logic, and it's a very smart idea. For example, the water will be crossing right here because if the pipe does get blocked by beavers or natural flow, just putting debris there, they want it to wash out here so they can just come in with a dump truck, smooth it out, and the road's fixed. They'll often put the culvert up like that, like underneath a hump. Maybe it's there, we'll go look. If it's there, then there's a chance the pipe might not even be completely buried or at capacity. They'll often put really big pipes in that literally can never get to their capacity. And it's all about the road not washing out. If it washes out where the pipe is, then you got a lot more trouble than just bringing a dump truck in. One culvert pipe in a place like this, maybe it's gonna be a 3, 4, 5 footer. You're talking $6,000, maybe even more for just the pipe itself. Then there's a chance that there's no culvert here at all. You go over here in the drainage ditch, and it's possible that there's a beaver dam in the drainage ditch, and all this water is actually supposed to be going down to the next pipe. Like the one we just unclogged is right there. Literally that hump down there is what we just unclogged with the grate. Right here is an entire beaver lake. Look at this. And the low spot up here in the road, you see water crossing, and all along the side of the road, there's a beaver dam. The water there is maybe 2, even 3 feet higher than the road itself. So the road is going to be a consistent mud hole because the culvert pipe is completely blocked, and the culvert pipe is far below the surface of the water level. But this is a weird beaver dam. They actually created a horseshoe dam around it. I've seen beavers do that before, and sometimes they'll make a horseshoe dam where it doesn't even affect the road, but this one is completely plugging, and I want to get out and quickly show it for a brief moment. So you saw the road is flooding here. This is where the culvert pipe comes out. You can tell by the lump where the pipe is, and it comes over here. There's a very thick beaver dam going all the way around this pipe. But see, I bet if the water went over this, which it won't because it's going to go across the road now, I bet there's still an area to the pipe, but that's kind of cool how they build a horseshoe dam around it. Every now and then beavers will make a big horseshoe dam where it goes and it actually doesn't block the pipe at all. And that works sometimes if the road's built really high. Unfortunately here it's not. And this area you can tell by all the dead trees. Beavers were problems in the past. They were relocated. The beaver lodge started falling apart, which is that entire island. And now there's new beavers, which you see the fresh part where they're refurbishing the old dam. The old lodge. And there's also another island way out there. It looks like it also could have been a lodge at one point. So what happens is as a beaver builds the water deeper and deeper, they have to keep adding on top of the lodge and hollowing out the inside. Then they raise the floor up, the whole thing. Then sometimes when a pond is so deep, you drain it and you realize that little thing there sometimes is now 20 feet tall when the water's gone. Sometimes beaver lodges are massive because they have to keep making the base bigger. Everything has to keep getting bigger to accommodate the new water levels. Take a look at this, everyone. Another large beaver lake. We're going over the culvert right now, which is completely underwater. Right here, we're driving through a flood. Look at all this water crossing the road. The beavers need to be relocated. You remove that, it's just gonna keep reoccurring over and over again, and that water is very fresh. I see a lot of water grass underwater. It wouldn't have grown that way. Look at this, there's even more water up here. It's twice as flooded as it was when we drove down this road yesterday. It was not crossing in 2 locations yesterday, so it's a lot worse. I can see right here it's actually digging, eroding a little bit. due to the water level. This also causing all these puddles right here. And for the time being, these roads are just too soggy. The log trucks can't get out here, so they're stockpiling all this stuff waiting for the mud to go away. Then the log trucks will start coming out and taking this. This is a massive pile. Look at this. Going so far down the road. So many logs. But this is a tree farm. Everything they're cutting down, they go and replant. They have machines that plant it. And I also recently found out they also plant it by hand in some areas too. Just a couple hours of sunshine, these roads are already not as bad as they were a couple hours ago. Dirt roads dry out really fast, and they also turn to garbage really fast in the rain. This pile's huge, it's still going, look at that. How many tens of thousands of trees do you think this is? So many trees. Here's another pile on the other side. And look further down there, there's even more piles. Alright, this area is pretty rutted up. If they came out here with these heavy trucks, they'd certainly sink. Look at all these logs on both sides, towering high above the vehicle. So many logs. Continues down the road to the right. There's a few more stacks. Check this out, everyone. This beaver pond's becoming over capacity, so they're starting to build a little dam out into the road. But it looks like people that drive by have been driving their vehicles. I think the loggers are purposely driving their trucks through it. So years ago, this was also a big beaver dam along the side of the road. It's no longer at capacity. They put a slice in it. And they also opened the culvert pipe back up. But the beavers are currently working on getting water levels back up. The pipe is right here in this hump. Once again, it's completely blocked and underwater. Preventative maintenance could have done it, but it's too far gone to be doing it by hand feasibly. All right, everyone, this section of road here might not look the worst, but it feels like driving through wet concrete, and we gotta keep it kind of slow because it's trying to drag us and make us slide a little bit. Pretty bad area. This is not beaver related, it's just very muddy what they use to fill this road in. Actually, up here looks like there are some beavers. What's crossing the road up there? What just crossed the road up there? We're gonna have to zoom in during editing. What was that? Something big just crossed the road. And look at this, here's another beaver dam. See, the beavers are slowly working on blocking the road. It's going across, and look, another truck drove through it. Look at that. Everyone's driving over this beaver dam to show the beavers what happens when they build in the road. I just drove through it. All right, everyone, here's another area of a bunch of ruckus beavers have caused. You see, the logging company put a bunch of logs in the road to run their trucks over so that they don't get stuck in the mud. So it's very bumpy here. It feels like driving over railroad ties without any of the gravel between. So to the left, there's a beaver dam there about 4 feet tall, keeping water levels extremely deep for the beavers. And it's leaking, keeping this road extra muddy, no matter how sunny it might become. Very big beaver issue here. Check it out, everyone. We're at another area where there's a gigantic beaver dam going along the entire road, which is at capacity and slowly leaking. The water level in the pond is multiple feet above the road. And look at this absolute mud hole that the beavers have caused. The logging company threw a whole bunch of logs in here to help you get traction, but as a result, look at the hood of the truck moving around. It's extremely bumpy, up and down. It's like driving over a bunch of curbs and speed bumps. We're in four-wheel drive. It doesn't feel like we're really slipping, so that's good. This could be a lot worse, especially pulling a trailer. Also, all the trees surrounding us are very small, so it would be a rough time getting the winch out. All right, this is a little deeper, so I don't want to be stopping. We got to keep the momentum going, even over the logs. All right, we're going to make it. That mud isn't the sticky peanut butter kind that makes you get stuck, thankfully. But usually it's losing clearance, which makes me get stuck. Every time I've been stuck, whether it's snow or mud, it's because I'm completely bottomed out. All right, right here is not as bad. Coming up, there's a bunch more lugs, a bunch more of a mess. And this is pretty impressive. The Beavers have like a 3-4 foot dam going all the way down the road, hundreds of feet. It's a very substantial dam that probably took them years of just the logging company neglecting the fact that they're here. Boom. Boom. Check it out, everyone. This is incredible. Look at this beaver lake. You can see they recently killed off a ton of the forest, extending the edge of the water deep into the woods. And look at the pipe. Wow. I'm assuming that's excavator damage. Yeah, I can see it's dented. And excavators did that, not the weight of the dam. But think about it. If the road was higher, this wouldn't even be a problem, because during floods it just goes over. And yeah, this culvert's broken in other spots too. Definitely broken in other spots. This is a huge pipe. Look at this. Wow. What a beaver dam. Massive thing. Take a look in there. Is it all clear? Sort of. Why isn't the water coming out the other side? It's starting to cross, it looks like. Maybe. I don't think quite yet. This is a huge pipe. Wow. Look at the other side. So why is it holding water? Is there a low spot in it? Yeah, there's just a dip in the pipe. A low spot. Wow, that's a big pipe. Massive thing. Alright everyone, we got another beaver issue. It looks like an abandoned lodge out there. You see all the grass on it? And it looks like it was reclaimed. Half of it looks rebuilt. Beavers will reuse and refurbish old lodges sometimes. Here's another area with a whole dam going down the road. Water crossing. Someone put a flag in the middle of the road, so does this mean there's a big sinkhole? There might be something wrong here. Looks like a giant hole in the road. I don't know if we're gonna get by this or not. It looks like people are going way over on the side. We might want to get out and evaluate this one first. You see how people have sticks and stuff? Yeah, we better get out and look at this. This is a pretty bad one. All right, this is a pretty bad one. Just more proof of what these beavers do to these roads. So this looks pretty stable. The people's sticks, they even use beaver sticks. Look at that. This looks stable. I'm just worried, is it going to collapse more? It's going underneath here. I wonder if there's a section of pipe there. This looks okay to drive on. Looks okay. Kind of surprised no one smoothed it out a little bit. I see bear track, I think. Maybe. Someone else also chose to drove over here, but this doesn't look as good. This looks like it's going to quickly get worse and worse with time. See, the beaver pond is well above the road. They have a dam going all the way down here. All right, everyone, let's hope for the best. Hopefully we don't get stuck. We're in 4-wheel drive. Let's try it. Hopefully we don't have to come back this way. I don't get stuck. How far is the hole? Okay, looks like we're okay. Please don't roll. Please don't roll. Let me open the door again. Look at the hole. Okay. Make sure the trailer doesn't fall in the hole. Go really slow. Trailer made it, we made it, okay. Hopefully we don't have to come back this way. A minute down the road, check this out. This is all a gigantic beaver swamp. You can tell by all the dead trees, it was a beaver swamp probably 5 years ago, relocated. All these trees and bushes grew in, they flooded it probably a year ago. Killed off all that, then the beavers were relocated again. Look at this, look at their old lodge. It's this giant mountain. Then they started a new lodge, it looks like, on just part of it. They also might be reusing the whole thing. It looks like they just fixed the front and side doors. This road is just full of beavers. Look at this. There's another one with a dam making the pond higher up than the road. This road is just dozens of these extremely neglected ponds, but yet they're logging it, which is amazing that they're going to send trucks down this pretty soon once the conditions dry up a little bit. All right, everyone, we're coming up to another obstruction in the road. There's a traffic cone, so there might be another washout. Let's see. On this road, it seems like only severe things are marked, like that thing I just had to drive around in the road. All right, another beaver pond at capacity over the road. This is a beaver dam running along to the left. Yep, pretty big dip. That's from erosion. That's not a sunken pipe or anything. We just gotta go around it on this side. It's not that bad. But they have it marked because that could really break your car if you're traveling this fast at night and don't notice it. This road's in very messy condition, so you would never want to go the full speed limit. All right. Trailer just made it through the ditch. Here's another little ditch where water's been eroding it because the pipe is completely jammed and everything has to go over the top. Yeah, this road, we can't go very fast on it at all. We're keeping it pretty slow. Probably most of the ride we're keeping it around 20 miles an hour, 30 kilometers an hour, but the speed limit's actually 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour. We can't get anywhere near the speed limit because it's in such rough shape. It looks like right here's actually flooded again. Is this more beavers? I've never seen in my life a road with so many active beaver issues. All right, this pond looks a little bit below capacity, but it looks active. It looks like they drained it, and this big beaver dam to the left is no longer at capacity, but the beavers are getting it there. I see water trickling across the road. Here's some more ruts, more big holes. This road's very bad. So many beavers out here. We have another gigantic beaver lake. Look at it. It's flooding the woods, flooding the road. It's a couple feet above the road because of this dam. Driving through a puddle, not too bad. Right here's a rut in the road. How deep is this gonna be? It looks like they had a recent breach that they had to repair. Here's the culvert. Even if we wanted to get to the culvert, we couldn't. The end of it's completely mangled by the excavator trying to find it. I'd say it's at least 2.5 feet above the road. There's a gigantic beaver lodge over to the left if you see that. The woods is flooded really far. Very far. Huge beaver pond. Yeah, right here, gigantic beaver lodge. And if we look down the road, there's another gigantic beaver lodge down there. Lots more flooding. Right here, you see the beavers are trying to block the drainage ditch. Wow, they have a beaver dam going all the way down. So this is two separate beaver ponds. This one is many feet above the other. You can maybe hear my wheels are spinning. Oh, this is a road. Yeah, check it out. This is a road right here. You can see that the beavers caused a washout, and then they had to build a dam to prevent it from washing out. Another beaver pond here. Maybe there's going to be another flood further up the road, I imagine. Actually, there's a giant bridge coming up. I wonder what condition the bridge will be in since the road is in such rough shape. These beaver communities out here are huge. This one pond alone has 3 different lodges that all look active. There's bear poop all over the road as we drive. There was a couple ducks in that pond. All right, here we come up to a bridge. It looks like it's in good shape. There's been times I've driven for hours down horrible roads to come up to a bridge that's blocked off, completely washed away, or one time without any sign of warning, the deck was gone. It was just the I-beams underneath the bridge. A crazy person could probably drive across that, but that's quite the risk. This bridge looks like it's in perfect shape, actually. What's this off to the left? Is this a dam? Yeah, it looks like a dam in the middle of nowhere. It's got buoys down there and everything. Here's one solid bridge deck. It looks like it's made out of I-beams? No, railroad ties. This is weird. I kind of want to get out and look at this. Down a rough, unmaintained road. Interesting. So I'm wondering, this is not a dam, but maybe, is it something to catch debris? To stop it from going downstream to something? Or maybe it's just a heavy-duty built bridge, because who knows how much this might surge during the spring thaw. You can see the bathtub ring on the other side. No, it is actually some sort of dam. Well, it's got an inspection sticker from September 2023. Some sort of dam. And this whole thing, it's built like a train bridge. All you can smell is creosote. Leave in the comments what you think of this thing here. Why it's backing up a little bit of water. Is it maybe because the river's too powerful and it might cause damage to a regular bridge? Not quite sure what the purpose of holding up a few feet of water is. There's a train rail down there. Maybe it used to actually be a train bridge at one point. Look, this spillway here isn't even working. Water's actually underneath it. Look at all that creosote. Don't know the purpose of this structure. Here's another beaver swamp. Take a look at how big that lodge is now that the water levels have dropped. It's huge. Look at that lodge. I'd say that's a 10-foot lodge if you can tell. It's huge. Massive lodge right there. Whole thing's drained back. Doesn't look like there's a beaver issue at the moment. Not this area, at least. They took care of this one. Here's another angle. That lodge is huge. Look at this rock over here. It's got a smiley face. Look at that. It's a rock with a face. It's kind of cute. Take a look at how drained this beaver swamp is. Logging company got to this one already. Oh, look at the culvert. It's completely destroyed by the excavator trying to find it. We're actually able to go almost the speed limit now. Suddenly the road's in better shape. Suddenly a lot of the beaver ponds are being drained. I'm thinking they're slowly working their way out to the job site where all the logs back there are. They're slowly eradicating the beavers along the road, it looks like. Because now there's not nearly as many. And the road's suddenly in good shape. Even all these dips where there's beaver ponds, the road is suddenly in better shape. There is no beaver pond here, actually. Well, let's see what happens up over this next hill. Yeah, I'm actually able to go the speed limit right now. It's actually smooth enough. For the first time in hours, the road's good. Hopefully there's not going to be a bear in the road up here. Lots and lots of bear poop on this road. It would be really nice to see the bear, actually. Oh, we just passed another bear poop. Bear poops are usually very dark in color and full of a lot of seeds. What's that? Oh my gosh, there's a bear up there. We finally are seeing a bear. We have been seeing so much bear poop, and look, there's finally a bear up there. You can still see it on the shoulder. But it ran away fast, unfortunately. Here's another drained beaver swamp with a couple lodges. Everything down this section of road seems to be pretty in check. The trappers have been out here. There's no issues. The road's in very good shape suddenly. Look how nice and green the grass is over here in this beaver swamp. It looks like the road crews have recently patched a big washout caused by the beavers. And I see a trash rack over there. Let's see if it's clogged or not. The water does look slightly elevated. I see a giant lodge. I see bear tracks over on the side. It does look like the thing might be clogged up, but let's see what the situation is. All right, everyone, let's take a look. Doesn't look like there's anything in front of it, so it might be an issue with the pipe. It's the kind of grate I really like. Oh, look at those swamp gases we just released. Yeah, these kind of grates are awesome. You pull it out, destroys the structure. Just checking. No dam right there on the end. But these kind of grates, these are awesome. You can just pull these things up. It destroys the structure of the beaver dam because beavers don't really add structure to their dam when you got that kind of grate. But this definitely washed out. It looks like they fixed it. It's also a brand new culvert. Why is it not working? I bet beavers built the dam in the middle of it probably before that grate went up. You can see previous uncloggings. The logging company lets all the debris blast through. What do we got? I can't even see in there. I gotta stick my head in a little bit. I don't see a thing. Don't see a thing. Wow. But it's somewhere underneath the road where we can't get to it, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, there's the beaver. That's the beaver that clogged the pipe. We got a beaver watching us. A very, very angry beaver. And there's actually a convenient stick right here. I'm very curious how far in the blockage is. Don't think we can do it. Okay, that thing's not falling over. Let's just stick this thing in here. See if we're able to touch the blockage. Let's see, how far in is it? Seems to be right there. We'll get that grate in just a moment. I got the big high boots on, so we'll grab that. Okay, look at this. Whole stick can go in. It's like a 6-foot stick, and that pipe is tiny, so we're definitely not unclogging that. Yeah, more like an 8-foot stick. I gotta jump in and get that grate now. All right, hopefully this beaver's not too angry about me going in. I gotta pick that grate up. Where is it? Thing's heavy. Can't budge it. Just leave it there, it doesn't matter. It's clogged anyways inside. Let the logging company put it back. Well, it's good to see a brand new culvert pipe being installed. Now they gotta trap the beaver and unclog that. Those ones, they unclog it by using like a telephone pole and an excavator to jam through the middle of it. So, oh, I see the beaver again. Right there, going to the lodge. Oh, it just went down. Probably entering the lodge. So, that beaver just went back to its lodge, which you can tell has been recently under construction. Well, that beaver's just gonna keep trying to do issues there. That water's gonna keep rising since that pipe, you saw the end of it. It's 100% clogged. It's so watertight, nothing's getting through that pipe one bit. But the logging company will go ahead and put that grate back on. I didn't want to bother even messing with that, wasting energy for no reason. We got it back up out of the water at least. Oh, these muddy roads sometimes are as slippery as ice. So I'm imagining they put that grate there after it was clogged. They brought it out there after it was clogged, but for some reason didn't unclog it. There's probably someone just dropping the grate off. Probably didn't have the piece of equipment to go in there, but that's right in the middle of the pipe. There's no way we could possibly get to that one. Just a minute down the road, here's another beaver swamp that's active. The lodge is right there. They have another grate that's kind of mangled, being hit by the excavator, but when they have a beaver dam where this is buried inside it, it's really no choice but to hit it with the excavator. Now, if all beavers would do this, it wouldn't be as big of a problem. You see, if it rains hard, it'll top their dam, go right in here. Sometimes they make these big horseshoes, which are very nice. Like, this beaver pond's not causing the road any problems. The thing is, beavers will always keep adding to their dam. This water now is like 4 feet below the road, but eventually it'll be up here. Beavers rarely ever just stick to what they have. Beautiful sunny day. When we started this video, it was actually cloudy. Now the roads are nice, drying out. Oh my gosh, there's a moose over there. Look at it. A moose. Look at that. There's a moose over there. Hiding a little bit. Bad angle with the bushes in the way. Standing on the guardrail didn't make much more of a difference. Oh, look at its face. Alright everyone, I hope today's video was interesting. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.